things first. We'd like to ask you here, Comic Book Podcast. So you have a beer. What are you guys drinking? Lauren already lent you her shoes, as we saw. What did she open up for you guys?
Right. So she lent us her shoes just so that the audience knows what's going on. In her shoe, the bottom of her sandal has a bottle opener. I've never seen a sandal with a bottle opener before. So the reason we need a bottle opener is because we're drinking an import. Yes, I know a lot of great stuff here in Salt Lake. We're drinking Heinekens that have been provided to us for free. So I never turn around and turn down a free beer.
Lauren's sandal does contain a bottle opener, and she left enough sand on my table to build a sand castle.
I bring Florida with me wherever I go. You're welcome.
I can testify to that. She does bring Florida.
And of course,
Just the sand, thank God.
yes, of course, the best beer is a free beer. So, moving on, we need to know, what is your guys' kind of Geek origin story? Because being in the Askew universe, Kevin Smith, one of the biggest nerds out there, right? Everything moves back in Mallrats, Clerks, everything comes back to comic books. So, how do you guys immerse yourself in this world? I know Jeff is pointing to Brian. This is the thing. What is your Geek origin story, so to speak?
I mean, my Geek origin story as a kid, you know, watching cartoons. I was a big, Looney Tunes cartoon fanatic. So I was a fanatic about doing voices and stuff like that. As I grew older, 7 years old, Star Wars came out. Oh my God, it changed my life so much so. I have two older brothers, one 6 year, one 9 years older than me. We're coming back from watching that movie in 70 millimeter, and I'm saying to my brothers, haha, when I'm ready to drive, I'm gonna have my land speeder. Note to people, I'm 52 now. Where the F is my goddamn land speeder? Looking for it.
It's out there somewhere.
So I'm a huge,
For a hoverboard.
right, hoverboard, that's right. So you're obviously Back to the Future nerd. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. That's where I guess my nerddom went nuts, because then I made my poor working class parents try to buy me every toy they could of the Star Wars Kenner line.
There we go.
That question is the exact reason it took me 10 years to do cons. I don't know any of this stuff.
Well, you
None
love Lord of
it.
the Rings, though, right?
3 movies about walking? No.
Okay, so I finally watched the first one, and I more so understood that whole scene that you did in Clerks 2, and
I'm the Lord of the Rings fan. I made her watch Lord of the Rings, and she's like, it's just fucking walking the whole
I'm
time.
like, he was right, 100%.
Oh shit, I watched the first one, but honestly, I think I fell asleep during the second one, and I didn't bother with
You
the
got
third
further
one.
than me.
Yeah.
So my next question is, when you guys saw Captain Marvel, which I'm assuming you both have, and you saw Stanley reading the Mallrats script, did any part of you lose your shit that the Askew universe is now part of the MCU?
I don't think he watched Captain Marvel. Let's
Like,
be
who
honest.
the hell is Stan Lee?
Yeah.
Stan who?
Yeah. I know I got geeked out about it, seeing it. I mean, Kevin was over the moon when Kevin Feige reached out to him and said, hey man, we have a scene in an upcoming film. We want to know if we have permission to do blah, blah, blah. He was like over the moon about it. So it was pretty cool. I was a fan of that movie in general. So to see Stan sitting there flipping through the Mallrats script as that on the bus or train, I forget what it was, when he
She just smiles at him.
yeah, it's kind of pretty cool.
Right on. And so that leads us into, you guys have been part of this universe for a while. Brian, you mentioned Kevin's been trying to kill you since the 90s.
Yeah.
Jeff, it took you a while to convince him to come back. So, first of all, what was your initial reactions into reading this script? And was it like, oh, thank God, kind of a sigh of relief at this point? How do you guys feel that Clerks has kind of come to an end?
I told Kevin he should kill off my character. He should have done it in 93. We'd be on Clerks 37. 37 by now. Yeah, he should get rid of Randall. Randall is a big pain in the ass. I mean, Jeff Anderson is a big pain in the ass. It takes him 10 years to finally relent and do a movie. So he should have killed me off right away.
I mean, Jeff was actually on board with the initial ending of, Dante being killed.
He just walks
He
out.
just wanted to make the change that it should have been Randall shooting him.
That's right,
No one would have seen
yes.
that coming.
Like, Randall's like, I've had enough of your shit. Bang.
Yeah, next thing you
Whole
know,
different universe.
it's a new episode of SVU Law and Order.
When you guys handled the scene, there were scenes I did not expect from you two that you both handled beautifully. Did you know you were going to be able to kill those scenes, no pun intended, or did it come naturally?
I never know that I'm going to kill any scene. I panic right up until the minute the camera rolls. The worst part about the whole thing is memorizing lines to me. If it wasn't for that, I'd be acting in everything. I have a very bad remembering.
So you need to be one of those movies that's just ad-lib. Just go. This is what we need.
Exactly.
I think you did one with Seth Rogen. No, just kidding. You know what it was?
Awesome.
It was definitely heavy. It was heavy to obviously get these kind of emotional parts of Kevin's script across. I definitely put the work into it. Definitely appreciate the fact that people online, especially, has been giving a lot of positive feedback on how it emotionally connected with them, emotionally felt something. Which I thought, if someone was like, "All right, that happened. Oh well," I would be kind of like insulted. But the fact that people are coming up and saying, "Oh my God, you really touched us," in the sense of what happened in the film. I don't want to spoil it for your audience, but it's a lot of heavy lifting. Plus, just to have Dante Randall and J.M. Silent Bob doing the same kind of dick and fart jokes, kind of shenanigans from the first one or even the second one at this age would be kind of hacky. So I thought it was great that Kevin put into more his own real life issues into this film, and I think it's resonated with the fans.
Oh, absolutely. So in your opinion then, did he give you guys the send-off you would have wanted for your characters? Have you thought about like the perfect ending for you guys ever since Clerks 1 or 2? Like, was this... Or is it just like, I haven't thought shit about this in so many years?
Obviously, the perfect ending is this meteor that hits the planet and everything just
We
gets
could be
wiped
so
out.
blessed, right?
So many things, so many universes are over at that point. So that would be the perfect thing, I think, would be funny. And then you just see Alanis Morissette as God really just
Yes.
go, finally closing the book.
Now you say hits the earth, I say hits the quick stop.
Which sends a chain reaction throughout everything.
The whole multiverse.
All right. So what is one thing that would surprise a lot of Clerks fans about you guys that everybody, I'm sure, assumes you're just all dick and fart jokes, like you said before?
I think the biggest thing that would actually surprise people is Brian is more of a Randall than I am. I'm in real life, I'm probably more of a Dante, except I say everything sarcastically. But I am the nicer guy. Brian is a real arsehole.
You know an Ursula?
What's up?
Ursula.
Arsehole.
Arsehole, he's trying to do an
I
Irish
mean, Ursula
accent.
works too.
I didn't know if we could curse or not.
There's this, hey, we're drinking beer, we're cursing, we're
you
talking
go.
Clerks, yes.
So he could say the full word.
Asshole. Brian is a real asshole, all right?
As long as we are all talking assholes here. No, you know what it is? I think fans will realize that genuinely, I'm not that kind of like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Whiny little bitch that Dante character is. But the thing that is about me that is definitely Dante is like, I do give a lot for friends. I will bend over backwards or fill in gaps in my schedule that's incredibly busy. Therefore, could you help me out with such and such? Yeah, all right, sure, whatever. That's not true. But if you turn on me, then shit's on.
Let me see if this works. Brian, can you get me off this fucking podcast?
I'm trying to wrap it up as quickly as I can.
Well, on that note,
Don't worry, we're almost there.
our last question. We have two more questions, and then I promise we're done. The Holorant podcast.
Yes.
So much like us, you started a podcast in 2020 to entertain yourself.
Correct. There was no way I was going to do a sourdough starter. So I was like, oh, what else is other people doing? I know, I'll start my own podcast that I've been saying I was going to do for the previous 6 years prior to that. So it took a pandemic for me to find now I have no fucking excuse. I started the Holorant. It's a podcast. I think I have 13 or 14 episodes on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You can find it. The Holorant. It's pretty much my last name with the letter T at the bottom. Right the back of it.
I lied, we have two more. This spurs another question. If Dante and Randall had a podcast then, what would it be on?
Fucking customers.
What would it be on? I'm stumped. I don't know. I've been drinking too much.
Well, we have a beer podcast.
He's
now.
only had one.
Why?
That's too much for me.
So then, our last question is then, after Clerks 1, we heard Jay in his panel was basically like, I went back to delivering pizzas and doing construction.
Yeah.
What was it that you guys did, Ryan? I know you did theater, you guys have kind of dabbled in directing and other things. What was it that you guys went to, and did you guys think that was kind of it, movie-wise, for you for a while?
At the time we did Clerks, I was going to school for architecture and design.
Oh, wow.
I knew, though, I didn't want to do that, so I don't know what the hell I'd be doing. I'm 52, act in movies, and I still don't know what the hell I should be doing. So I have no idea what I'd be
Just
doing.
having fun, coming to cons and doing podcasts, apparently, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I still pursued acting, which I still do, thank God. But to pay bills, I would work for a barware manufacturer for quite a while, doing trade shows for them. I worked for like Verizon technical support for not the cell phone division, but for their buildings, like their facilities would have issues. Or I worked odd jobs here and there. I'd help some of my friends who were, construction contractors and help them demo something or help them hang drywall or stuff like that. We all come from pretty much very blue collar background kind of lives. So you have to make rent. You got to get heat. You got to do stuff like that.
Bills keep coming through.
Right, and I mean these conventions for me didn't start until after I did a film called Brutal Massacre, a comedy. And the people at Anchor Bay, the distributor, were like, you should do the convention. So I was like, well, what do you mean? Like, I used to go to Kevin's booth at the Philadelphia Wizard World to just sit at his booth and sign the toys that he was selling and stuff. And then Kevin would just give me a flat fee for thanks for being here kind of thing. And I was looking like, people charge for their autograph? That's so
hold
weird.
up.
Right. And I always find it kind of an odd taste in my mouth. But then as things went on, I said, oh, I guess that's just what happens. And that movie company, Anchor Bay, and that movie put me on this kind of convention circuit. I was like, oh, okay, I see how it is. And so then in between that, I started to work more in movies. And it's been a lot of fun doing these. This is his first year of Jeff doing these conventions in general. And we've been having a blast being together because for almost a whole decade and a half, people are like, hey, is Jeff ever do these things? What the hell? Oh, well, he's in the witness protection program. I come up with all these wild stories as to why Jeff doesn't leave. And one of them was like he bought Ted Kaczynski's shack and he's typing his own manifesto right now.
That's actually fairly accurate.
He's been doing this.
I finally got the ankle monitor taken off so I could finally come out and do these things. Wait a minute, Brian. You get paid for your autograph?
He's been taking pictures for free.
I've been here 3 days. Nobody's paid me. I'm giving them away. And having a hard time giving them away.
Because of the Lakers hat.
How do you think you're getting these free beers?
I don't mind getting paid in beer, actually. I'm good with it.
There we go.
I agree. So any upcoming projects to look forward to from either of you?
I don't want any projects. No more projects. I am not an actor. I don't want to act. There will be no Clerks 4.
You're really
Could I
good
be
at
any
it,
more
though.
clearer?
He kids, but he also does. He also does amazing mosaics, tile mosaics that are amazing. So he does
Get on the
commission.
vendor floor. So
There we go.
No, he doesn't. That's one thing he doesn't want to do. But he does like personal things that mean a lot to him. It's really great work. It'll be discussed on another show at another time. And as for me with other projects, I'm in talk with 2 other films, hopefully shooting next year. And we'll see where we go after this. We'd love to do the Clerks cartoon at some point.
Absolutely.
If we can do it, that'd be great. Kevin is going to do a Mallrats too. I'm sure I'm going to work with him on that.
We've been waiting on that one for a while.
I know, and then he teased it. That's the thing about it. He's a victim of premature enunciation.
Exactly. Well, he's just trying to figure out, did he come or what?
Yeah, it's a side effect from herbal supplements he takes.
I just got a whiff of an herbal
Really?
supplement.
There you go.
So,
Time to end it now.
exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time. There's a line building up, so we want to make sure you get back. But thank you guys. And for everyone else listening, we'll be back in a moment.